We can start now, Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
So, hi everyone, welcome. This is Starknet All Core Devs call number 49. We are very close to 50 now. So, a quick reminder before we dive in, we are recording this session for folks who could not join us live today. And keep your mic muted when you're not speaking. And also a heads up that our call timings have changed. We are now meeting at 11 a.m. UTC going forward, not 12 p.m. So today we'll start with Ohad covering from Starkware updates, and then move through client teams and wrap up with the space for anything else if someone wants to talk something. So let's get going. So the first point on our agenda is Starkware updates, and out of that, first we'll talk about network health. So Ohad, let's kick off with network health. Last call, Ethan mentioned that the testnet had some downtime over the weekend, and you said a documentation would be coming out in the following days. So did that get published?
Yes, we share the postmortem in the Starknet Integration Partners Slack channel, and I've also invited more people on Telegram to actively ask for it.
Mhm.
I suspect everyone here on this Slack channel, but opinions are welcome if you'd like it to be shared further or differently next times. Shall I go briefly over what happened or?
Yeah, if you can, that would be perfect.
Sure. So basically, we had an issue where Starknet expects L1 to L2 message to be an array of fields, but on Ethereum, technically any 256-bit input is allowed. Um, and our code automatically took modulo of the value given into a field. And then there was inconsistency when we tried to do a state update because the Ethereum contract saved the full number, but the off-chain component worked with the modulo numbers, so the hash was different. This caused an alert of invalid state update. And when we debug it, we've seen that this is the issue, and we have done two things. First, to prevent it going forward, we basically added a check in the off-chain component that injects L1 to L2 messaging into the system, where if any value is larger than a field, like the maximum value of field, message is ignored. It's not going to be processed. And secondly, obviously on testnet, we needed to also do L1 changes. Right, like the change I've said before is both on testnet on mainnet. And then on testnet, we also did slight modification to the contract. So it will just basically calculate the hashes over the full numbers given and allow the numbers given in the state updates to be larger than a felt, because actually in the state update function, it did check that all the elements are less than a felt. And this way we were able to avoid the reorg on testnet. And that's it. This issue was also relevant for mainnet. Obviously, it got fixed within the same night. And if it were to happen on mainnet, we wouldn't need any reorg or anything of the sort. It's just that L2 to L1 settlement would be slightly slower until we patch the contract in a similar way to what we did.
Okay.
Any
Okay.
questions or feedbacks or anything we could do better next time in communication of those events?
Maybe Chris or Rodrigo or Hemant, any of you guys would want to say something here? No. Okay. Okay. So maybe we can move on to the next topic, which is O14.2 and O10.2 RPC. So Ethan mentioned that on March 17, the integration was supposed to happen and testnet followed. So where we are at with the mainnet right now, has the upgrade happened yet? And like, what is the status right now?
No, upgrade didn't happen yet.
Mhm.
Currently, mainnet upgrade is planned for April 20.
Okay.
I know that several teams still worked until very recently or still working on being compatible with 0.14.2. Like Pathfinder only last Tuesday released a patch. The software mentioned team still irons out some final issues with the new transaction type and so on. We are planning to do like a check, I would say middle next week, that all those dependencies are done and there is no known issue with the development experience on Starknet as a prerequisite to continue with the upgrade week and a half from now as currently planned.
Okay. Okay. And one more thing which we wanted an update from Starkware is about Propeller and validation. So in the last
Mhm.
call, Propeller was still in the development stage and code was available on the main branch, but it was not being used by anyone. So Ethan mentioned that they wanted to see it in use by 014.3 if possible. So how are things going on that front right now?
Um, so we have two versions of Propeller. I think a dummy version that assumes all stacking weights are equal will actually be used in 0.14.2. As far as I know, we plan to have the full-fledged Propeller on 0.14.3. But 0.14.3 will come to integration only like mid-May-ish. So it might take a bit, and I can't guarantee that this will indeed happen, but this is the intention.
Okay. Okay. So appreciate the detailed update, OR, and we can now move on to the client teams. And if is there anything else that you would want to share, OR, or that's it?
No, nothing else. Like
Okay.
over the last week, we've had a holiday here in Israel, so not many work
Mhm.
actually since the last call.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So we'll now move on to the client teams. And since we don't have Christian now, we'll have Chris from now onwards, who'll be representing Equilibrium. And the Equilibrium team actually missed the call last time because of their offsite. So let us bring them up to speed. So where are you guys with O14.2 and RPC 10.2 support right now?
Okay, so on March 31st, we released this Pathfinder version 0.22.1, which supported both Starknet 0.14.2 and the latest RPC version. It also added this feature of compressing the HTTP post body if you do an add invoke transaction which contains a proof as a mean to sort of like just decrease the payload size. And later on, 2 days ago, we did just like a tiny another release, which just bumps the blockifier version to the latest. And this is because of the fact that at least one team that we know of that uses Pathfinder also uses Cairo native. And as far as I remember, that blockifier release actually was due to like a bug fix, right, in the ECOP
Mhm.
cons related stuff. So we thought that we should just do it as soon as possible. And there's also like in the latest release we also added a tiny CLI option, which is practically only useful when you're trying out Pathfinder on integration when a new Starknet upgrade is rolled out, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Chris. We can now move on to Rodrigo. So, Rodrigo, I believe that we have released O15.2 with O14.2 and RPC O10.1 support. So, how are things looking at Juno right now?
So all in Juno is looking good. Yeah, I think since last call we make a release shortly after, adding everything that was missing using the latest version from Starkware, and then we also make a release like a few days ago, also updating the resources from the latest version of Starkware with the latest bug fixes, and also the shared resources with us of how to make calls to the sequencer more efficient to reduce bandwidth. So we also implemented those and also made the release with us. But that this is not directly impact from it, but overall it reduces bandwidth, so it's good for everyone.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's what we have shipped. What we've been working on is we continue working on the state, and we're now we're back again to look into state pruning and try to reduce Juno size for people who only wish to be validators and don't want to have RPC nodes. So we're doing that's our focus right now. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Rodrigo. And we can now move on to Hemang from Carnot team. So Hemang, in the last call, you announced that full sync to all three networks, which is a huge milestone. So how is everything holding up with that, and how's the stability and performance been since achieving that thing?
It's been pretty stable since then, and we have been testing out 14.2 on the Madara sequencer side. We have replayed almost all the blocks that are there in Sepolia and integration network, and we've also replayed them on SNOS as well. So both Madara sequencer as well as SNOS has been tested for 14.2, and we have found some bugs, but we have fixed them, and everything looks stable ever since. So hopefully, as soon as possible, we'll be making a release on Madara and SNOS for 14.2 support, and then when mainnet comes in, we are hoping that our full nodes are automatically able to continue syncing with them without any issues. Yeah, that's majorly it.
Okay. And I also believe that you mentioned that you'll be sharing a parallelization optimization document by end of March 26th. So did that get shared with the full node group?
I think we have had it already in our team, and we have had a discussion about the document already. Like, we have a document that we have been using internally. It's just that I think we were not able to share it. So I'll just talk to my team about it and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you, Hemant. We have covered most of the agenda items. Let me check if there's anything else left. So yeah, does anyone have any other topics that they would like to bring up? Anything we should discuss that isn't on the agenda today? Okay, I guess there's nothing more to add. Then we can wrap this call. And thank you everyone for the updates that you have given today. Uh, a quick reminder that the next call in 2 weeks would be on April 23rd at 11 a.m. UTC. Note that the new time is 11 a.m., not 12 p.m. So I'll post the recording to YouTube and get the notes up on GitHub. Thank you all for your time. See you again in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.